Hello, and welcome to my Impact Wrestling review. A lot of things going on tonight on this show tonight. Las Vegas again, and I gotta say, this is a very newsworthy show. Something I expected to happen, but at the same time, didn't know if it was gonna happen or not. It was seeing were they gonna pull the trigger on this, since the clues have been leading up to the past few months now in this whole story, and especially with the World Championship. But before we get on to that, first off, in regards to Impact, kicking it off with a 6-man tag: Rich Swann, The Mac, and Tommy Dreamer versus OVE. This match was pretty much an insane 6-man tag. Let me say that. It was all over the place, and it was, downright funny at some points, at a couple times and stuff. But with him being in this match, something about it was just kind of, it was funny, especially Tommy Dreamer. I will admit, I see Dreamer on so many shows during the week now, because you don't know what type of wrestling show he'll really show up on nowadays. But him in this match, something about it was really funny. I will say that, because in the beginning of the show, but the beginning of the match, of course, a brawl at first, with everybody going at each other. Of course, you're going to see a lot of high spots between Swann, the Mac, and OVE. As all guys started attacking each other at one point. Excuse me. At one point, I thought the funniest thing in this match, though, other Mac doing like that Samoan dropping the moonsault was pretty cool too. But when they pretty much went over the top rope, everybody was kind of jumping out, because Mac did a corkscrew, pretty much jumping out of the ring. Swann did a Phoenix splash off the second rope, jumping out of the ring on the turnbuckle. And we all thought Tommy Dreamer was going to do a suicide dive. Of course, people were going to chant ECW, but as soon as he even tried to run up, he just kind of walked out of there and then jumped down and just punched all three of these guys. Okay, he was not going to do a suicide dive. Then again, I've never even seen Tommy Dreamer do a suicide dive, because I guess people think it's gonna go high risk, but the fans started chanting, "You still got it, you still got it," which I thought it was pretty funny. As the match came on, though, one spot I thought that was kind of crazy was when Sami Callihan had spit at Tommy Dreamer, but Tommy Dreamer grabbed the spit and pretty much, just licked it off his hands and ate it. Pretty much kind of disgusting. But he was about to go for his Dreamer driver. No, he was gonna go for a DDT, but Sami Callihan got out of it. Then pretty much Matt came in, pretty much doing a pop-up punch on him. Everybody kind of started going at each other, which I thought this was pretty funny, though. Also, everybody kind of started hearing a splash on OVE after what is that move the Mac does? He throws you into the turnbuckle, you're sitting down, and he just kind of cannonballs right into you then, which is pretty cool. They all kind of started doing frog splashes then. Even Tommy Dreamer did a frog splash also. He didn't know if he could do it in that, but he did it. And his Dreamer thought to go for the Dreamer driver. OVE pretty much pulled both the Mac and Swann out of the ring then. Callihan pretty much dodged the Dreamer driver, pretty much hit Tommy Dreamer with a pile driver and got the pinfall. I thought this was a good 6-man tag. It was kind of insane spots, and it was kind of pretty funny at some points. I will say that too, especially Dreamer's like, "Hey, I'm gonna do this big high spot, but then I'm just gonna gingerly walk out and just do some punches. I'm not gonna do a high risk. I'm not that young, I guess." And I thought this was pretty good. I will say that. OVE, you don't really see them win a lot, so I can understand why they got this win. Excuse me. After Swann's kind of made them look like dopes in the past few weeks now of not accepting the T-shirt or joining OVE then. But like I said, good 6-man tag to kick off the show. Ty Valkyrie, I guess, was waiting on, with Johnny in the back, because the world title will be on the line with Brian Cage. But as Cage walked into the room, he told Johnny, "You ready to do this tonight?" And Johnny pretty much stood up and said, that Cage should be the one that needs to get ready. Cage pretty much said, all right, and he, walked away from that. So, Johnny and Cage right there, pretty much. I know Johnny with the neck brace, because how's this match gonna go if he's actually gonna wrestle with a tape on his neck? I don't like the sound of that. Yep, I was right. I don't like the sound of that. But pretty much moving on into the show then, as they prepare for the world title match tonight. Hold on. Yes, as this match was going to go on tonight and he had to tail to the tape, they went next to the Rascals, who were sitting around, I guess, getting high again, or whatever that 70s show thing is going on. And they were talking about how they pretty much, made fun of Moose last week, trying to hit on, Melissa Santos and everything, and, calling him, what was he, like a giant Pepto-Bismol or something? But then next thing you know, Moose joined in the smoke session, and the whole circle say, you guys are hilarious, okay? And he was laughing and, going along with them. But then, he said, where's the smoke coming from, huh? And he said, which one of you guys were making fun of me making fun of me for hitting on, Melissa last week? As they all just kind of stood around because they did call him a strawberry pocky stick or a giant big league chew. And then as Moose kind of laughed and he was going fun with it, I remember what happened last week, okay? So don't think I'm not gonna let you all get away with this. Moose pretty much started punching the Rascals in the face with some type of sound effect, something like you see in a punching cartoon sound. And as he beat all the guys up, Moose pretty much said, I think you guys are funny, when he sat back down, because they all looked confused after they got the crap kicked out of him by him, which they didn't even fall to the ground or beat up unconscious. Moose just punched him in the face several times, doing cartoon punches almost in a smoke session. Why, I don't know, but I thought you think it'd be a match with Moose and the Rascals since they made fun of him last week. But no, I'm just going to come to your smoke session and punch the crap out of you, and we'll see what you guys do after that, because I guess he's bigger than all of them. But moving on, Disco Inferno, Gail Brady, yes, I said his name right, came out as I guess Disco was ready for a match, and he said that Impact is a clown, and they should sell when a clown do a forum. But I guess his opponent was going to be Kikutaro, which is supposed to be, I guess, somebody from Japan. And Disco says, is he the New Japan Pro Wrestling Champion? No, that's Jay White. But I guess he doesn't follow the product if he knows that Jay White is the current champion. Listen, I can't say this was a bad match. I think I never really watched Disco Inferno wrestle that much than probably out of WCW. But I don't even know if I remember that all the way. I know Disco got the win. Yeah. Yes, I can say that Disco got the win. Yes. Yes, I can say that Disco got the win, no. I will say that. Like I said, I don't even know his finisher. I know he did a stunner on him for the win. So I guess Disco, he's still trying to hype up this match with Scarlett Bordeaux coming up, since he's going to wrestle her in a match. So that's going to, be the thing from that. I think this is his hometown of Vegas, all right? But I don't know. Like I said, I've never really watched Disco wrestle that much in WCW. I know he's funny. I did like what he did last week, walking around trying to find out who still works here in Impact and that, which I thought this was hilarious. But I guess Disco's trying to get it over somehow. It was somewhat funny, but we'll see what happens when he does face Scarlett Bordeaux in the next week or two. I believe, is it next week or two, or is it in 2 weeks? I'm not really sure, but we'll see what goes down from that. Rolando Melendez walked up talking to Taya, pretty much asking her about drawing Grace and Tessa Blanchard, who her next opponent will be. But she's focused on Johnny because he may have neck fusion and stuff. And Ronaldo pretty much walked away then after that. Followed by KM went against Reno Scum. Pretty much brawling. All these guys pretty much brawled right there. They took out Falaba throughout the match. and he was pretty much on the outside of the ring trying to get up. KM was pretty much doing most of the work and was getting beat up by both Reno Scum, as Fowler pretty much walked his way, or somewhat finally got to the turnbuckle. Pretty much Bob was in. He pretty much started going at both of Reno's Scum, with headbutts, and hit one with Samoan drop, and pretty much threw onto the ring post. One of them kept doing some punches on it from there, but Bob pretty much dodged him and hit him with a belly to belly for the win. This wasn't that long in the match, and Bob wasn't even in that long. Bob would just kind of kill everybody in under a minute, almost, to look like, after KM was out of there. You think Reno Scum probably would have got the win, put some more heat on them maybe, but followed by KM just kind of got a win right here just because. So by KM pretty much got a win here. Almost pretty much just because. I'm assuming it's the end of the feud from this point, because I know what the point of now Reno Scum goes through here. You think they would probably get a win to get some heel heat or something, but I guess not. Ba and KM pretty much got the win from there. The Lucha Brothers were backstage talking until Conan pretty much asked them about the rematch and everything, and Phoenix says, oh, you want to answer, do you? Pentagon pretty much put the Sierra Medio thing in his face as he spoke Spanish. Conan pretty much says that he's loco, crazy, and Conan pretty much asks Phoenix, I want your answer. Phoenix pretty much walked away with Pentagon saying no, and Conan pretty much says, you're going to pay for what you just did. You too, Phoenix, alright? So they pretty much disrespected Conan right to his face, especially Pentagon doing the Sierra Medio thing to him. You ain't getting an answer, okay? LAX was then in the back as they were just pretty much sitting around until Conan pretty much says, they disrespected me, Pentagon and Phoenix. My son's disrespecting me. But Santana Ortiz, like, you want this work? Let's do it. And said, we're getting that rematch now, right? He says, right, we're going to face, like, because, Conan's going to 51-50, street fight, all this, all that. But Conan says, but, when Santana said, we got the rematch, right? But Conan pretty much went on to say, not yet, but you will. And Ortiz pretty much said, listen, we gotta get him, man. Lucha Brothers are going to get it. They are going to get it. And Santana pretty much says, like, what do we do from there? When are we going to get that match? As they pretty much walked off from that then. So, I did kind of funny. They say, Conan, you got the match, right? We're doing this next week, right? We're going to fight him, right? That's the thing. He says, not yet, but we're working on it, okay? Well, they disrespected me tonight, but now I'm going to get that match. Not this weekend, but hopefully, maybe next week. Tessa Blanchard went against Jordan Grace. Not a bad match, I will say that. Really good match, I should say, from there between Grace and Tessa Blanchard. Grace pretty much hit the the Grace driver or Michinoku driver, whatever you want to call it, for the win. Pretty much after the match, like I said, really, really good match after this, but as Jordan headed to the back, the referee had checked on Tessa. Tessa was pretty much then pissed and shoved the referee away. Pretty much she doesn't have to deal with this, and she pretty much was pissed off, yelling at Josh Matthews and Don Callis then. But then she pretty much started, kicking the ringside, and then she took the guy that rings the bell, throws him in the ring. They kept saying, he's a civilian. And she was going to beat him up. But next thing you know, Gail Kim, pretty good pop here, comes out for the save then. Pretty much, started punching at Tessa Blanchard as, Tessa tried to go at her. But Gail got the upper hand. Pretty much with a jumping elbow, and she was going to beat her up. Tessa got a dodge, then pretty much retreating after that. After, Gail was getting the upper hand on her, and her music pretty much played from after that. Like I said, good to see Gail Kim back again, though. I know they've been talking about this match for a while now between her and Tessa Blanchard, so it's going to be coming sooner or later between both of them. It should be a really great match, too. Let me point that out. I know Gail hasn't been in the ring in a minute. I know she's not technically even a full-time wrestler anymore. And, it's mostly a producer in the back for the show nowadays. But, listen, we all know Gail Kim can still go, okay? It's like, I've said before, she's only like, just 40, I believe. So, she's not even really old. Like, Gail can still go in. Like, the last time she was, like, how can I say, before the whole retirement, Hall of Fame thing, I think she had, like, an injury. But when she came back, she never really lost a beat or anything from that. So, with Gail versus Tessa Blanchard going to happen, looking forward to this match. I will say that. And then pretty much right after, the doctors were checking on Tessa, but Scott D'Amore pretty much said, what happened out there? As Tessa yelled, I'm like, you, what do you think you do with this company, okay? All right? And that she, Scott was rude. and you could have just, asked if you were in front of him. And Tessa pretty much says, I'm the biggest star in this company, and you have, and this is how you're treating me. And this is how you're doing. You're just running this company very bad. And, he said, this is bullshit, and you need to do something about it. Scott D'Amore said, we're going to do everything to get it all taken care of. Gail Kim pretty much walked over and yelled at Tessa Blanchard in. And, getting mad at Scott D'Amore also, like, what is this, son? What are you running around here? And as he's very much stuck and didn't know what to do. Scott D'Amore pretty much suspended Gail Kim, and he says, like, you're part of the office, right? Well, you're gonna get suspended like the office. Take a week off. You come back later on. Tessa pretty much laughed in, as he said he would take care of Tessa, and the doctors checked on her. So more and more as this match is coming between Gail Kim and Tessa Blanchard, if you're sending Gail Kim at home for a week now off of suspension, because D'Amore looked like he didn't know what to do. So it's like, hey, you're suspended. You can't put your hand on competitors. You're part of the office now, okay? You can't go around doing what you used to. So, like I said, she's suspended for a year now. Well, not a year, for a week now. Next thing you know, they hyped the United We Stand show, which had a really good video package, I will say that. Like, it was a lot of RVD, because I know he's part of the card, but I forget this was on April the 5th, or is it the 6th, if I'm not mistaken, or 4th. Like I said, it was in Jersey and everything, and like I said before on a review or two I said yesterday, because I did a 17th anniversary for Ring of Honor. It's gonna be a lot of wrestling shows throughout that weekend, okay? Like, every promotion has something going on. It's WrestleMania weekends. Like I said before, you got G1 Supercard, MLW, Impact, many other indie shows, NXT, WrestleMania itself. So it's going to be a busy weekend watching a lot of wrestling from now. I do plan on checking on that United We Stand thing, though, because I've heard it like several times now throughout the past many weeks, and it's going to be during that Mania weekend, so I am looking forward to it. Like I said, when I saw last year, and they had the Impact versus Lucha Underground thing, I thought that was a really good show. It was better than anything else that was going on at the time. Like I said, it's many wrestling shows. They're going to keep coming out of nowhere the whole night or throughout that entire weekend, and that is one of them, okay? But a very good video package. They didn't win back to the end of the Undead Realm thing, as Rosemary was, I guess, talking to Allie, or the bunny was talking, saying, we warned you about the shadow. As Allie said, the bunny is dead, and Rosemary pretty much wanted Allie back, I guess. And Allie laughed at her and says, you can't get, you're pathetic, okay? The bunny is dead. But Rosemary demanded the bunny's soul. But Allie says, you're not getting it. I don't know where this is going or whose soul is getting poked out of what, but hopefully you rush this thing soon enough. So, to be honest now, we need to move on from this undead thing, because what else can we do with this after the Dark War? I don't know how they're going to, make Dark Alley turn back to Light Alley now, because now we pretty much have her locked up somewhere, and I guess Rosemary's got to do some exorcist thing to get her regular self back, the bunny, and that be this undead bunny, I guess. So that's where we're going from this entire story, or however we're going to do this whole thing, okay? I don't know, but it's getting somewhere every other week, but we'll see how this works out. OVE was in the back with their camcorder, as he pretty much, Sami Callihan pretty much was yelling at Rich Swann, we giving you chance after chance, and I'm going to take everything that you love, first with your Impact, with your X Division Championship, and that Ohio will be taking over everything. The Destiny Hit Squad went against Eddie Edwards and Eli Drake. What can I say from this match? Not a bad match or anything. Pretty, Kenny, Eli Drake threw the kendo stick into the ring as Eddie Edwards grabbed it and he pretty much hit Rahit with it for the win. So I don't know, it's not much to say from this. I know they're building up Drake and Eli Drake to be his tag. Drake and Eddie Edwards to be his tag team right now, so we'll see where this goes. Destiny Hit Squad continues to lose more and more as they win. I have no idea what they're going to do with these with that team, but they need to figure out something, okay? Because they're literally doing nothing with that team, and it just looks really bad. It just sucks. But as we get into the main event, which is, there was only like 10 minutes or 9 minutes left in the show, Johnny Impact's music hit, which I'm like, where's the champion coming out first? But next thing you know, he's being carried out because we were wondering where he was at throughout the whole time. Killer Cross walked with him out there with the neck brace still on, as Johnny, like, he was unconscious, and I guess he was gonna take a chair and beat him with the cinder block right by him. But next thing you know, the security guys come out and try to stop him, or referees, as fans did start to chant Killer Cross since this is his hometown. But Cross pretty much, he was going to hit him as he was just knocking security back. Taya brought out Cage, and Cage looked like he didn't really want to do it or help or anything. And Taya pretty much went in by herself and tried to cover Johnny, but Cross told her to get out the way, and pretty much called Taya a bitch. But she got up, she pretty much punched Killer Cross, which didn't look that powerful to begin with. Cage looked on, but as Cage finally thought about it, he came out, took Killer Cross out then, and helped Taya. They shook hands, but then next thing you know, after she hugged him also, she pretty much low blowed him. Johnny pretty much kicked up, faking the injury the whole time, beating the hell out of Brian Cage, hitting him with a moonlight drive, just multiple tads kicking him, and then he took the cinder block and put it by his head and hit him with a chair on it, as Cage pretty much like he was selling, or pretty much had his leg moving out there several times. As Johnny Taya stood over him, Killer Cross pretty much clapped his hands and had a big laugh. Then Johnny and Taya walked out, looked at him as they went up the ramp, as Killer Cross looked pleased then at the end of the show just for taking out excuse me. Sorry, I must have forgot what I was gonna say now, but yeah, Killer Cross pretty much attacked Cage after that right then. I think it was more footage on the website if you look it up. But a really good heel turn for Johnny and Taya, which I feel like fans will turn on them anyways, and they've done a great job making Conan as a face around here. I will say that. So at least it looks like it's working out for him. Well, I really feel like I'm losing my thought. Chaos. Yeah, chaos and everything. I don't know what Mikey Nichols is doing after this, but wow, I really think I lost my train of thought right there, the whole segment. But yeah, with them being heels now, what will happen next with these two? Like I said, they made Cage look like an honorable face, I will say that, but you still gotta get to over Killer Cross to get to Johnny Impact and everything, since he faked the whole injury and it wasn't nothing, and pretty much magically got back up and starts beating the crap out of him and several other guys in the ring. All right, but that's end of my show for me. Like I said, I did like the ending segment a lot though, with Cage and Johnny and Liu Kang and Kung Lao and everything. A really good excuse me, pretty much a good segment though from what it was, I will say that. So we will see what happens next. Like I said, it's a heel turn. So what do they do with Cage? They probably have him go on a rampage next week again, since Cross pretty much helped. He pretty much helped Johnny Impact in this whole time. So we will see where this goes with Evil Johnny now and face Brian Cage. I don't know what to expect from it, but I'm sure it's gonna be good. But I'm gonna go. I'm out of here. See you guys later. Peace. Tell me what you thought about my Impact Wrestling review. Comment, subscribe. Like I said, tell me what you thought about the show tonight, folks. All right. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Peace.